Tried to make a video for you just a second ago. Instagram was bitching, oh, you need a video that's shorter than 60 seconds. Anyways,
Hi.
These are the pens that I have left, and I think I'm going to narrow it down to these two. This is the Jumbo Triumph and the Brown Stripe Triumph. These two, this one, I like this pen a lot, but the nib just doesn't do it for me. It's hard to explain. And this one, I really like this pen, and I would be picking it up if I had more money. I'm consulting my chart here. The Black Lever Full Triumph is the Jumbo one, and you said it was 125. The brown one here was 80. So these two together would be 205, I guess. I tried to make a video for you just a second ago. Instagram was bitching. Oh,
It is you. It is you, FX Technol. Why don't you hold on to that large Schaefer balance, FX Technol, and maybe we can trade it for something. Maybe we can allegedly have you help me allegedly put Creative Suite on my new laptop. And that would be a nice way for me to get what I need from someone who knows how to press the right buttons. And you can have a pen that has a really sweet nib. That's a nice, I really like the nib in that. I initially put it over in my keeper pile, and I was probably going to just yank the nib and put it in one that has in a Perlin black one or something. I wasn't really sure, but I think your help in successfully moving allegedly moving an alleged bootleg copy onto my laptop that I will bring to Minneapolis. I really felt kind of trapped in Minneapolis by not having a computer that had that on it. I was able to get my brother's Photoshop, modern Photoshop, on my other brother's computer, but I just felt carsick trying to even understand it because there was too many bells and whistles. So having something that I know better successfully on a computer that I can bring back to Minneapolis and keep there would be great. And what I think we can do, what might work well, is if I know that there's some sort of platform where you get control over my computer via the interweb, where you're moving the little mouse around and you're doing everything. So you don't even, I can take a nap while you're doing it, all you need is to have me, maybe restart it or reboot it or something. Yeah, I know that I can't remember what the interface thing was, but that's easier to do. It might even be doable through Skype or something. Maybe I have to be here you tell me what I need to do, but it's mainly just, if I remember correctly, it's cutting and pasting passwords that are about this long, on into the thing and doing a few hoop jumps. But I would think the work could be done in an hour at the most, I would think. I think what my friend in Germany did, he was able to do it essentially without physically touching my computer. We were able to do it remotely. And again, it was through, I don't know if they were Reddit things or I don't know what it was. And I'm sure he'd be willing to do it for me as well. But I think it's your turn. So maybe what I can do is try to remember or try to figure out which of the two laptops I have that I want to bring to Minneapolis, because there's still one that might have to take the place of this thing. Though this one is working really well, if I remember to unplug the Wacom plug when I turn it on, and it boots up fine, and then I plug in the Wacom. It's when they're plugged in that I can't make it work. I suppose there's another thing, if you want to just send me a thing that your mother has, you and your mom work out a deal where she sends me the discs. But so CS6, I think, is what I have on this thing. Most of my buttons yeah, CS6 extended is what I'm using here on my, whatever that means. Yeah, Minneapolis was, do you want to join me here so you don't have to type? Oh dear, well, that's not going to work. My Minneapolis trip, we started baby steps toward resolving some of the things that needed to be resolved. And there's a lot more that still need to be resolved. There's my brother has to decide if he wants to buy the place or not. And if he does, then there'll be a certain amount of work that I have to be there to help him with. If he wants not to buy it and we have to sell the house, then there's a lot of work I have to be back there for. So, done.
Here's the next contestant on Pierre Gustafson's YouTube show.
Okay. So anyway, see if you can get Brecht. Is he shy about showing his face or talking with his mouth or what? Is there a...
Really, I think it's more of him being just busy as shit.
Okay.
He's been super duper busy. Like,
Okay.
I really haven't been able to talk to him much in like the last couple of weeks because he's doing finals or something. So
okay. Well, I know that he came on with his voice at one point, and we had a really nice conversation about Swan pens, I think it was, and whether a Swan flexible nib was the same thing as a Waterman flexible nib. So we talked for, I don't know, maybe a half an hour or more.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really neat. And again, I would love to have him talk with Brussels. And again, we don't have to see his face if he's shy about that. We could just have his voice in the background, or it could be his hands moving.
I just think the hardest thing for him is
The
finding
time.
the time to be on here, because every time I talk to him, he's doing something or another for school, work,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
combination of the
Well,
two.
I'll send him a letter or something, just saying, it would be fun to, even if he has 20 minutes to spare. And
Yeah.
it could just be something where it might be he and I, or you, the three of us would.
Just the three of us.
Just the three of us. But I just, what's neat about this, not so much the hobby, but these tools, these pens, not the hobby of collecting pens, but the use that we humans put these to is what I find really fun. So, and the subtle differences between them. So,
Yes, all these lovely vintage writing instruments.
yes, all of them. And I was sent two modern fake 51s from Maryland. And
Those Genhao things.
so one was a Genhao, one was something else, but they both
They're like Wing Song or something.
yeah, Wing Sung.
Yeah.
And they were perfectly endearing. If that's the only thing I ever saw in my entire life,
Well, that's the thing.
I would say they were
pens
fine.
they're not garbage. They're not useless. They're perfectly serviceable writing pens
Well,
that cost a couple dollars.
Yeah.
You know.
But the issue is, how long will they last? Will they last 2 years, or will the plastic start breaking and the clips falling off? I really don't know.
I mean, realistically, the same can be said for a lot of the modern pens that are really expensive being sold.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because they're pretty much made to the same standard, honestly.
Well,
I mean, we already know how well pens like this last,
because
and they do a pretty damn good job.
There,
Right.
If it'll last 60, 70, 80 years, will it last another 80? Probably. I would think, there were some plastics that do become brittle through some weird system. And I don't know if it's just bad plastic in one vat.
I mean, people keep buying brand new Pilot pens that cost upwards of $200-300, and some of those form cracks and stress cracks and stuff within a year or two.
Yeah.
So what's that going to say for? That doesn't bode well for the future,
Yeah. Melissa says she doesn't think the modern pens will stand the test of time. I really doubt it too. I mean, this iPhone is not meant to last more than
6 months,
a year at the most, I would think. And then it may not break, but it will become useless. It might work as a phone and maybe as a camera, but you won't be able to download the newest Donkey Kong or whatever the fuck app you want.
Donkey Kong, it's like 1982 here. That's not very up to date.
Is that even a thing, Donkey Kong? I don't even know. I was never into those sorts of games, but someone threw out a Samsung Galaxy tablet thing, and I'm trying to get it so I can hook it up to my Wi-Fi here, but it's just not functioning. It hooks up for about a minute, and then the little tiny gears in its little head says, "You are not the Sprint customer that I'm connected with," or something. And it does work as a camera, a shitty camera, but it does work as a camera.
Yeah.
So it is able to be used by my 3/4 roommate when he goes on jobs to show me the stained glass that he's working with, or whatever. And the pictures are fuzzy, but they're good enough for my fuzzy eye. My eyeballs are fuzzy too, so I don't care.
I don't know if I showed you this, Pierre. Here is the brown stripe that I just paid you for moments ago.
Yeah.
Here's another one I got from eBay the other day.
Yeah.
They're identical, same pens.
Yeah.
But I was going to show you the nibs on these things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this other one's like a huge, like, it's got to be a broad at least. It's kind of stubby too.
I like the shape of it. The stub nib. Maybe it's just the lighting that hits.
Yeah, it's not really
narrower,
a stub, but it's kind of got a stubby character to it, if you know what I mean. But it's a super, super awesome writing pen.
Yeah.
And I got it for like $40 or something ridiculous.
And is it a lever fill or a piston?
Yeah, it's a lever filler as well.
Good. Well, good for you. I mean, one can get good buys on eBay. I certainly buy pens on eBay and fix them up and charge a little bit more for my
buying pens on eBay is.
Yeah.
I bought 3 Duofolds. 2 of them were Duofold Juniors, the streamline version. The third one was a Duofold Senior, and I haven't had a Senior before.
Okay.
They all looked like they had, serviceable nibs on them.
Yeah.
And out of those 3 pens, I'm probably only going to be able to make one of the Duofold Juniors into an actual working pen.
Yeah.
The Senior, I will need at least a barrel for it because the threads on the back that the little cap screw on, I don't think are any good.
Yeah.
The nib's fine though.
Did you
Oh, Melissa's asking about these pens. These are they're Schaefer Triumphs. These are called Schaefer Statesman Triumphs. They have the lifetime conical Triumph nibs on them, and these came in lever fillers, vacuum fillers. There's different versions of them that came out later that are touchdown fillers, snorkel fillers. Everyone needs a Schaefer snorkel, just like everyone needs a Parker 45.
Well, everyone needs a Schaefer snorkel like everyone needs a colonoscopy. My opinion.
No.
They're just a little, if they work and
I have snorkels with the original seals in SAC that still work, period.
Yeah, but I mean, they can work, but if they start going wrong, probably all of the rubber parts have to be fixed. It's like buying a tire for your car.
I mean, that's kind of true with any of these pens, though. How many of these pens still work with the original SACs? Not very many.
But that stripe, if you want a striped pen, Melissa.
Yeah, you cannot beat the stripy celluloid.
You can find other lever fill pens that are striped that will not have the trauma of a snorkel. Snorkels didn't come in the stripes. So, and the Triumph.
If you need a snorkel and you don't want any trauma, let me know because I have a bunch of them. And they all work.
And also the Triumph nibs are almost always going to be firm. So you're not gonna be able to play around with the flexi.
You're not gonna have any fun soft nibs or expressive nibs or flex or anything fun like that. These are, utilitarian workhorse pens. I mean, they do what they do very, very well, but Melissa says it's just the nib. I don't actually care about the color. But yeah, even though, you know, they tend to be very rigid nibs, of course, there really is something about writing with one of these Triumph nibs that's unique to the Triumph nib. You know, even though it doesn't flex or anything interesting, it does have its own character to it, even compared to like a Parker 51 or any other, you know, iconic vintage fountain pen.
FX
Yeah, what Peter's
Technology.
doing right there, you're not going to be doing with most Schaefer Triumphs.
This was in my sale drawer and until I bought it for myself. It's a lifetime nib with a little bit of flex to it.
Yeah, you don't see that every day.
And
I have a few lifetimes that have a little bit of softness to them, but I don't have any of them that will do what that pen's doing right there.
yeah, I'm trying to find my. I have the Triumph nib that is like the two that you have that I decided to keep for myself.
Oh, you mean the good ones that you decided not to sell me?
No, not the good one. They were both good. I almost kept them both. And I thought, well, which one of these, they were identical, which one of these do I want? And the one I chose to keep, which I may have left in Minneapolis, because I did leave a number of pens in Minneapolis that rather than going through the trauma of which pens am I gonna take back with me,
Going through that agonizing
choice
decision cycle over and over again.
I thought I would just leave. I left a couple of stub nib pens, and I think that was one of them because it has a stubby nib like the one that you have.
Yeah.
And it was just, it seemed to fit that pen. That pen, even though the one that you bought from me is a beautiful fine nib, and it's, you know, if that nib were in a longer pen or a pen that, I don't know, maybe was, I don't know what it was, but I liked them both, and one you have, now you get to like them both. See, you get to like both of them rather than me. So Melissa wants Johnny One Note 51, a workhorse pen. So what kind of workhorse do you like?
Yeah, if you can appreciate a 51,
you'd like
Triumph nibs a try, because they should be right up your alley as well.
Well, Melissa got from me a Skyline with a nice rubbery flexible nib and a black Esterbrook that has I sent her one that had a nib in it, and she had two other nibs at home. So now she has, and she really likes that one. So,
so is she doing some nib swappage?
Well, you can easily with a whatever they're called, Esterbrook.
Oh, I figured out what this weird thing is.
Okay.
It looks like a little Craftsman.
Yeah.
But it's got the little
Triumph nib.
The little stubby Triumph nib.
Okay.
This is called a Schaefer Sovereign 2.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's the model name of this pen.
That's when my eyes glazed over because I didn't even know that they had a Sovereign 1, and here they've got a 2.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing too, like this pen is called the Schaefer Statesman, right?
Yeah.
You know, Triumph nib. Statesman is some of them are my favorite Schaefer pens they made.
Yeah.
But This pen is also a Statesman.
Yeah.
It's just an open nib like a Balance. So it's like I've come to the realization that I've spent so much time trying to learn all of these model names for Schaefer pens.
Uh-huh.
And now that I know them, I realize how useless that knowledge is. Because if you say Schaefer Statesman, that means like
Nothing.
10 different types of pens that are completely different.
Well, there has to be some way.
So I'm just going to go back to my old way of describing pens, and I'll say it's a celluloid, it's stripy green, it's got an open nib, and it's a vacuum filler. That way you know what the hell pen you're talking about.
Yeah. Russell's friend Leo just texted me. I want to see if he wants to join us. If he does.
I can't stay on here too long. I gotta.
Yeah, I know you.
A couple minutes.
I just found this in my little drawer of things. It's a very clean, transparent Schaefer Triumph Nib piston fill one. Now, why is this in my sale drawer when it shouldn't be? It seems like the piston thing still works. Let's see what kind of nib it has going on it.
We're currently looking at your shirt right now, Pierre.
You are? It's a pretty shirt. Oh, it's slightly flexible.
No way.
What? No way. Way.
Another one.
You hate me, don't you?
A flexible Triumph. He's like pulling out all these flexible. Look at this.
It was.
I don't hate you. I'm just envious. There's a distinct difference.
Okay. Well, let me just see what it's like. Writes like on real paper. It is a little give. The cap, though, if this makes you feel any better, the cap is sort of shrunk. Oh, where did you're leaving us?
You kicked me out.
I didn't mean to kick you out. The cap has a little bit of shrinkage happening.
Oh yeah, that's pretty common.
And but I probably have another cap that will work on this one. It's pretty sweet, though.
That's lovely, though.
Shall I see?
Some of these, I've seen some actual flexible Triumph nibs. And you know how they have the two-tone plating on them, right?
Yeah.
And they have a little line that delineates where the plating goes.
Yeah.
The nibs that I've seen that were like factory flexible Triumph nibs are always missing that little engraved line between the plating.
Well, this one has plating. This has that line. I imagine that's just to make it a little stronger, maybe, or something.
Yeah, it's just strange. I've seen photos of them before without that little line on there, and they look so weird.
No. Okay, let's see if I can fill this. Find some ink that I trust.
And Schaefer vacuum fillers are so awesome, but getting the vacuum filling system repaired is kind of a pain in the butt. Oh, Melissa says, I might be the least cool collector. I love the workhorse pens. I need a pen that's going to stand up to 10 pages of notes and jotting a day or more. Well, I mean, I'm in the same exact boat. Probably 95% of my pen collection is pens that, would be considered workhorse pens. I've got a few, flex nibs and stuff like that, but It's like the flex nibs are fun to have, but the only reason I don't buy more of them is because the type of stuff that I do in my writing, my journaling and stuff, a flex nib is totally overkill. And I write on cheap paper too, so cheap paper doesn't stand up to the prodigious wetness of your run-of-the-mill flex pen. Oh, he was earlier this morning. Melissa, you are a collector after my own heart. Yeah, it's almost completely nothing but vintage pens and workhorse nibs. That's my thing. Where did Pierre run off to? He left me in charge of the stream again all by myself. Well, I'll take it. Oh, there he goes. He's back.
Mitch, you're going to hate me even more because this is that fat one. This is a fatter.
Oh, no.
I tried to find a cap that would fit it, and they're all too skinny. So,
They're all too small.
So it's a fat one. So
I had to ink this up last night.
Oh, that's nice. The Legacy or whatever they're called.
This is a Targa.
Targa, okay.
And it's...
Oh, you can make...
It's a stub.
You can make 100 perfectly good fine nibs using that iridium.
Right. Nah, but it's a really sweet stub nib. I bought this nib on eBay, and it came with some crappy desk pen. I didn't want the desk pen, but it was a desk pen and just this nib. And I had a new old stock cap and barrel for one of these. I bought it for $15. A freaking gold stub nib.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I bought a desk pen that has also has that kind of a nib, except I think it might even be fatter. And it's a Targa inlaid, kind of nib. So it's in brown, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe black. I can't remember. But and it's again a golf ball kind of a nib on it. And but I think it needs to be a little bit tweaked because it looks like someone pressed down a little too hard on it.
Oh yeah, it's sprung a little bit.
So it's going to be a pain in the butt to fix, but there must be a way to do it.
Melissa said earlier that I'm a collector after her own heart because of my workhorse nib addiction.
Yeah.
She says, what are your opinions on blotters? Do you guys use them? For fountain pens, I just have some random, napkins and tissues laying around in my pin box.
I don't know if I have any left, but let's see if I can find an image of the one I designed for myself. See if I can figure out how to find that.
I was just thinking the only time I've ever actually used blotters, they were soaked with a hallucinogenic chemical.
Oh, dear.
Yes, I believe the name is lysergic acid diethylamide.
Here we go. I found it. Let's see if I can.
I'm talking like actual blotter paper, though.
Oh.
They have those the Lamy inks that have this weird little jar that sits on top, and the bottom of the ink jar has this little dispenser, and it's like a little paper tape dispenser that has little strips of like blotter paper you can use.
Uh-huh.
So after you fill your pen, you can, I guess, tear a little strip of that thing off and wipe your nib off with it. I've never bought any of those Lamy inks before, but
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if I need to wipe off a pen when I'm finished inking it, uh, this is literally the napkins in my pen box for that very purpose.
I can't find where my blotter is, but I have the image. Anyway, above it, it said, "This blotter sucks. Sucks. Ink that got astray on Per Gustafson's otherwise neat drawing table."
Now, here's what's cool. After you have one of these napkins for a while and you've been using it to wipe your pens off,
Yeah,
you unfold it
and you've got a Rorschach test.
and you've got some wicked artwork.
No, you have a Rorschach test, and
Rorschach test.
I see a woman with an axe and a machine gun. No, I don't. Whatever you see. Hello,
B-52
Leonardo.
dropping
Hey
bombs.
guys, how are you all doing? It's nice to see
Hello.
you guys.
Nice to see you.
I don't think I've ever met you. Aphex Technol. It's nice
Yes,
to
my
meet
name
you.
is
What's your
my
name?
name's Mitch.
Mitch. Nice to meet you, Mitch.
Likewise.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And Leonard is a friend of Russell's, and they speak Italian.
You're the famous Leo.
and
Okay.
English.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm famous, but I'm definitely Leo.
Okay.
I am Leo, all right. I guess. Yeah.
I'm going to try to find one thing. You and Mitch talk amongst yourselves for a second.
So, how are you doing, buddy?
Oh, living the dream, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, we are all living our wildest dreams these days,
The
aren't we?
wildest dream.
You
The
know,
best
stuck
days
at
of our
home.
lives.
Yeah, stuck at home without, shit to do. Just, well, I guess you guys who are a little bit more artistic than I am probably find a lot of stuff to do, even if you're stuck at home, I guess, right?
Well, yeah, for the whole COVID lockdown thing, that was just a regular day for me. My life
That's
did not
funny.
change at all.
So you're an artist as well, Mitch?
No, I just collect old fountain pens like Pierre does.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay, that's pretty cool.
I don't do any. I mean, I used to draw and stuff like that, but not so much anymore. I mainly just use my pens and stuff for writing journals and everything. So,
Oh, okay, that's pretty
one of
neat.
my hobbies. I have a bunch of other hobbies too. I play with old typewriters. I work on old computers. I play old video games. I like everything old, I guess. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Are you into retro video games?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Stuff like that, like Super Nintendo,
I
Sega
got
Master
Nintendos
System,
and all that. Right.
Nintendo 64, that type of stuff.
Nintendo 64 is too new for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're more the Commodore 64 type.
Yes.
See, all of
That's,
that is way too modern for me. I never even liked.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool.
I have a room full of Commodore 64s.
Okay, and where do you live? Where are you originally from?
Oh, I'm from the Dayton, Ohio area.
Oh, okay, that's pretty neat. I've never been there, but it sounds like a cool place to live in, I guess. From an outsider perspective, probably. I don't know. I don't know.
like the place that I live.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I like the area that I live. Oh, sorry about my cat here.
It's cute.
The area
so
that I
cute.
live is cool because I live in it's basically like a rural agricultural area where it's mostly cornfields and stuff and a few housing developments.
Wow.
But I can get in my car and within about an hour drive get to 3 or 4 large metropolitan cities if I want to.
Okay. Is it
Cincinnati.
close to Columbus? Is it close to the Columbus area?
Columbus is about an hour away from where I live.
Oh, okay. That's pretty neat. Yeah, it
Yeah, I
sounds
think
like
you
a
could
pretty
easily
cool
drive
place.
to, Indianapolis or Cincinnati or any of those places.
Um, I'm gonna ask you a question that I don't know if it's sensitive. I don't know if it's kind of cliche. But I watched a movie that was kind of popular. It's based on a book by a staunch Trump supporter who basically is originally from the Ohio, Kentucky area, I guess. He spent
Mhm.
most of his life in between Ohio and Kentucky. The movie and the novel, kind of a memoir, it's based on is Hillbilly Elegy.
Mhm.
Have you seen it? Have you watched it?
No, I've never heard of that, but yes,
Really?
this area is
Okay.
widely known for its hillbilly type people,
Hmm. But
which
it
I'm not
was
one of them. But
Um, apparently, the Democrats didn't like the movie or the memoir very much because it's apparently kind of an apology for pro-Trump sentiment
Mhm.
in the states. But personally, I guess I'm kind of a naive type of viewer. I don't know, or a very innocent viewer. But I loved it, and I burst into tears watching it. It was like one of the most poignant and emotionally charged movies that I ever saw. It was amazing. It actually made me want to buy the memoir, the book, the novel that it's based on.
Well, it's kind of the problem with politics right now is that everything is so completely painfully polarized that that everyone on either one of the sides has this us versus them mentality. They look at the people on the other side as being their enemy rather than being
Hmm.
their fellow countrymen, not
Yeah,
realizing that we're all in this boat together, uh,
exactly.
we all have the same, best interests, and this continually fighting each other, you know, attacking each other and trying to tear each other down. Meanwhile, the soul of the nation continues to rot, in the background. It's not doing
Yeah,
anyone any good.
yeah. It's not doing anyone any favors.
Um, uh,
Yeah.
you guys, I may get a phone call in the next few minutes. I'll just turn this down. You guys keep talking, and if you have to leave, you can leave. But this is for a client, so
Oh yeah, sure.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll turn the volume down here you might still hear me yammering on, but uh, I just wanted to let you know that if I don't respond to anything, it's because I can't hear you. So we'll
Okay.
find out if she
Thank
calls.
you for letting us know.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I probably have to leave here too in about 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
sure. No problem, buddy. Yeah.
Okay.
I perfectly understand. I was just, dropping by to see what Pierre, was up to. But
I
it's
just
a
thought I got,
pleasure. It's a pleasure to have met you.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Pierre has talked about you so many times that I've never actually been able to meet you. So,
Oh, really? Wow.
yeah.
I'm flattered. I'm
I just
flattered.
I just asked Russell if he'd like to join us, but I don't know whether he can.
Oh, okay.
But if he does,
I think he can. I don't think he can actually, because
okay,
I spoke to him a little earlier on,
okay,
asking him whether he wanted to have a chat or what,
okay.
or what not. But he said he was going to be busy with his family for Easter.
Oh, okay,
But
okay,
I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know.
okay. Well, we'll see. Again, this woman may call me in a minute. Melissa
Mhm.
said to you, Afex, that she lives near you.
Really, how near me?
Well,
Like next door, or
um, you need to find that out because
yeah, I guess so.
it would be neat if both of you could meet halfway. And
She also said, "Well, we're all in this boat together. It's hard not to throw the idiot rowing backwards with his buddies out of the boat."
it is hard to throw them out. Michigan, an hour ish to Ohio.
Well, Michigan's where my whole family's from, so
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know where Dayton is compared to where
Dayton is like southwestern Ohio.
Oh. But anyway, I mean, it might be neat if you and she could hang out for a long lunch or whatever. And
Well, I already know that I like people from Michigan, so
okay,
and I have a lot of Michigan blood running through my veins as well.
and you can drive okay, Affectional?
Not really.
You can't. Okay, so she.
I mean, I can still drive, but for short distances, because after about half an hour, it's about all I can handle.
Okay.
Oh, Ann Arbor. Yeah, I've been to Ann Arbor more times than I can remember.
Mhm. What's it like, Ben Arbor?
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Ben Arbor,
know.
yeah. What's it like?
To me, the people are a lot like the people from Toledo, but without the big city mentality.
Is it?
Everything too, like Ann Arbor's got the school up there, and
No.
There's a big contingent of college kids living around there too. So you've got that sort of thing going on, the young kind of hip college vibe type thing.
Is
Okay.
Is it on the lake, Ann Arbor?
It's not really on the lake, but close enough to it.
It sounds like it should be. But maybe Arbor and Harbor is confusing me.
Yeah.
Make sure my phone is on here. Yeah, Russell didn't get back to me, so I presume he's on his way.
Yeah, he must be busy. Yeah, with his family,
Celebrating
Easter.
Easter.
Are you guys religious at all? Are you going to be celebrating Easter this time around?
No, I just pry the bunny off the cross and eat it. I don't. We have Easter bunnies here. We don't.
Yeah, Easter bunnies.
We don't do the. I mean, some people do the crucifix routine, but
really, they crucify the bunny.
Well,
the
they
Easter
should.
Bunny?
I mean, no, they don't. I did a drawing of Easter bunny, which had the bunny on the cross, which I thought was a nice way to show it. No, and are you're? I think we talked about you and religion. I think you.
I'm a little bit of an agnostic / atheist.
Yeah.
But I was raised as a Catholic. I'm basically a lapsed Catholic.
Yeah.
I'm a fallen Catholic.
That's pretty much how I would describe myself, I guess. Same way.
But my mother is a huge, bigoted Catholic nut, and so we're gonna be celebrating Easter. All right, I guess.
Oh no.
At least at least I'm gonna get a chocolate, like an Easter egg. That's like the saving grace of Easter, I suppose.
There was, I gave a party when I was a student in Madison. The house that I lived at was famous for the parties we gave. And there was one we gave, which was called the Bad Taste Party. And everyone, we made food that was in bad taste or just in poor taste, not necessarily bad. Like a lot of people brought Jell-O, which is, there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. It just seems sort of a little bit trailer trashy kind of thing or something. Anyway, someone made, using pretzel rods and a piece of licorice and a little gingerbread boy, crucifixes. They lashed with the licorice the little gingerbread man onto the crucifix.
That's terrible.
It sounds pretty sacrilegious.
Yeah, well, that was
not even flat out blasphemous.
No, it was pretty good for a bad taste party.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
We also, it was very funny because as soon as we decided on this party, we all started borrowing each other's clothing. Oh, Colin, can I borrow that shirt? And the thing was, we were so excited we didn't realize we were insulting each other by wanting to borrow each other's clothes. But I wanted to wear two different kinds of plaids that were completely, jarring with each other. And other people were, borrowing a particular T-shirt that they thought was in really poor taste. And anyway, it was a fun party.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like it was a huge bonding experience for you.
It was.
It sounds like a lot of fun. Must have been a lot of fun.
I memorized. I looked in a joke book for like the worst, racist, nastiest jokes I could find. I kept telling the same joke over and over and over again, and it involved an N-word. And it was really bad, but that was the point. The point was we had to do things.
Can you say it on live streaming?
I cannot say it on live. I can't even.
If it's got the N-word in it, you don't do that on the internet.
Okay.
I'll you in private sometime. And it's a horrible joke. Absolutely horrible.
That's
bad. It's
well, gentlemen, I hate to, but I gotta run before it in here. So
I think what I'll do too, because this person may call me or not, but I think I also have to eat lunch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say goodbye now to everyone. So Leonard, it was nice seeing you, and Aphex, it was good, and we'll start working on the CS6 thing if you can.
Yeah, I'll start looking around and see if I can figure something out for you.
For me, and I will try to figure out what computer I need to use it on.
Cool.
Okay, and it was great catching up with you guys.
Yeah,
keep on vibing, dudes. Keep on vibing, guys. Take care.
Sure.
Stay cool. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Later. Have a good one.